Why are my property taxes so high and what can I do about it? That's what we're going to talk about today. So whether you currently own a home or you're thinking about buying a home, property taxes is something that you need to understand, and we're going to get into that today, right now. But first, my name is Marc Giles, and I am a mortgage loan originator. I help people finance homes. I'm also a licensed real estate agent. If you're thinking about selling a house or buying a house, you need to talk to me. That's right. So let's get it on. And also, this video is made because I like to help people understand what they're getting into when they're buying a house, and I can answer a lot of your questions while we're not on the sales floor. Also, I want you to stay tuned for a bonus tip at the end of this video. You're going to really like that, so stick around till the very end. Watch this video till the very end. So let's start with understanding what are property taxes. When you own a house in America, you're going to pay taxes on the house, and the taxes are paid to the local municipality. It could be a town, a city, a state, but you will pay. And where does this money go? Now, there's two types of taxes in most counties. One is for the municipality and the other is for the school system. When you're paying taxes toward the municipality, the taxes are spent on road repairs, libraries, the police, the fire department, things that make living in the community enjoyable, and spent for parks and recreation, things like that. The other side are the school taxes. So school taxes actually go towards paying for the schools. That's why in America we say that the schools are free. We get a free education. But in actuality, somebody's got to pay for it, and mostly it's the homeowners. So who pays the highest taxes in the United States? According to a recent study, New York, Connecticut, and Illinois paid the highest property taxes in the United States. It's the equivalent to an average of about 3%. So what that means is if you own a house and it's worth $600,000, your property taxes would be approximately $15,000 a year. What are the factors that influence your property taxes? The first factor that influences your property taxes is the value of your house. It's the most important factor. So if the value of your house is high, which we all want the value of our homes that we own to go up, yes, because when we sell a house, we're going to get more money. It's the equity that we build up over the years. But unfortunately, it's that value of the house that will determine how much your monthly or annual taxes will be. So the higher the value of the house, the more taxes that you will pay towards your municipality and towards your school system. The second factor that influences how much property taxes you have to pay is the rate. There's a rate that the municipal government uses in order to determine what you must pay in property taxes. So they assess the value, might be $600,000, and then there's a rate that they use to determine how much you're going to actually pay. So you want to keep an eye on that rate, and you can actually contact your local assessor's office and find out what is the rate that they're using to determine what your property taxes will be. Okay, the third factor is the assessment ratio. When I give you this example, it's going to make it a lot more clear, but there is an assessment ratio that is also used to determine how much property taxes you're going to pay. That's right. So what they basically do is they take every house in your community, whatever the municipality's geographical region is, and they add it up. So they may say there's X amount of houses, and when you add up the value of all of these houses, it comes out to $40 million. The fourth factor that will influence how much property you have to pay is home improvements and additions. Yes, while all of us want to have our home looking nicer, if you add an extra bedroom or put a garage, you build a garage next to your house, or want to go another flight up, or you want to put a new bathroom or even upgrade your bathroom, these things could affect your property taxes, because the town assessor, when they become aware that you're making these changes, they will make adjustments accordingly to the value of your property. Now, the fifth factor that influences your property taxes that you must pay every year is the financial needs of the government. That's right. They get together every so often, usually annually, to determine how much money they need to continue running this government, to provide the services that we enjoy, like the roads, the schools, the fire department, the police. These things need to be paid for. And the salaries of these agencies, for the executives, for the politicians, everybody has to be paid. So they get together and they decide how much we're going to need for each year. If you start paying attention to the budget, that's what it's called. They come up with a budget of how much they're going to need. And usually there's a vote that takes place to decide whether this budget is going to be approved to be paid by you, the homeowner. And once this vote takes place and it's agreed that yes, the budget is going to increase this year, then what happens is it's divided up using those ratios to figure out how much you're going to pay for your house. And lastly, but not the least, is the re-evaluation. That's right. Every year, the town assessor has to re-evaluate what your house is worth, whether you did any improvements, and what the adjustments that need to be made in order to determine how much taxes you need to pay on this piece of property will be. As a real estate agent, I'm here to advise you and let you know what you can and cannot do. I would never advise you to commit tax fraud. Don't do that. Not good at all. But there are some things that you need to do. First thing you need to do, like I said, pay attention to your school board meetings, town meetings, look at the budgets. The first thing you want to do is find out what your current property's assessed value is. And if you believe that that assessed value is too high, you can actually appeal it. That's right. You can go down to your town assessor and say, hey, I do believe that you are assessing my house at a higher value than I know it's worth, and I would like to contest that value. And there's a couple ways you can do it. You can either hire a licensed appraiser and he can go and show you what the value of your house is, or if you want to find some comps, that would be houses that have recently sold in the area, or you can call someone like myself, a licensed real estate agent, to provide you with those comps to give you a clear idea of what your house could be assessed at. And now if they're assessing your house at, let's say, $800,000 and you believe it's $650,000 or $700,000, it might be worth having that conversation because it could reduce your property tax burden annually. Number two, in New York State, there's what we call the STAR program. Every state has some similar types of programs. There are many elderly people living in the state who are on fixed incomes, and a lot of times they're just getting their Social Security and pension, which does not go up every year. That's a challenge. So what you would want to do is you would want to go to your municipality and find out if there are any special programs or benefits for people over a certain age to apply for so that you can experience a reduced tax burden. So there are state finance tax exemptions that could be available for you. You definitely want to do your homework. You might want to talk to a local realtor, call your state legislator and explain to them what you're experiencing with the property taxes going high and the challenges that you're facing, and see if there are any state finance tax exemptions that you could be eligible for. These eligibilities and exemptions differ from state to state, city to city, town to town. So I would encourage you to either call me, I'll tell you what to do, who to contact, or you can just contact your local politician and find out what they have available in your state. As promised, here's the bonus tip. Did you know that if you needed money to consolidate debt, you can get a home equity line of credit? And what's so good about that, if you currently have a mortgage and your interest rate is very low, you might not want to refinance and tap into that, but you can get a line of credit that is on a second position lien on your house. What that means is you can keep your first mortgage exactly the way it is, and you can take advantage of a lower interest rate than you're paying on your credit card. So if you wanted to consolidate all of your credit cards into one loan, you can probably get a really good interest rate on a home equity line of credit. That line of credit behaves just like a credit card would, but you get a much lower interest rate because the line of credit is attached to your house as a second lien. And the beauty of the line of credit is because it behaves like a credit card, you can actually pay the whole thing off and still have the line of credit available to you to use in the future. So you can take the line right now without actually borrowing any money. You can just let the line sit there. And then when you have something you want to do, like consolidate your credit cards, maybe do a home improvement on your home, then you can actually use that line to do whatever you want. It's a great tool to have available to you whether you use it or not, because it offers you a lot lower interest rates than you would get, and you don't have to refinance your current mortgage. That's a beautiful tool to have at your disposal. So that's the bonus tip for today. And also, my name is Marc Giles. If you're thinking about selling your house, buying a house, or financing a house, I'm your guy. You hit me up anytime. Numbers below. We're going to be having some home buyer seminars. You'll see the link below on that. So I'm going to be bringing you more great, beautiful content just like this because I'm committed to educating home buyers and you as much as we can. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, please enter them in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.